Coming up on this semester's final edition of Capture, we continue coverage on the university's drought-tolerant landscaping, recap Saturday's rivalry game against CBU, and sit down with the president, John Wallace, to discuss his health and future at APU. Hello and welcome to this edition of Capture. I'm Caitlin Slater. We begin today with a tragic story that hit very close to home. Last week, a mass shooting took place 40 miles away in San Bernardino. According to the FBI, a husband and wife shot and killed 14 people and injured 21 in the process. The shooting took place during a holiday work party at the Inland Regional Center, a facility for people with developmental disabilities. The two shooters fled the scene and later that day were shot and killed by police. Recent FBI findings revealed that the two behind the attack were supporters of ISIS. Additionally, 12 pipe bombs were found inside their home, which led many to wonder if the couple had more attacks planned. Following the tragic event, the FBI said in a national press conference that they are conducting an ongoing investigation to further determine the specifics of the attack. President Obama addressed the nation on Sunday and officially declared the San Bernardino shooting as an act of terrorism. He reassured that the nation will continue to hunt down terrorist plotters in any country where it is necessary. Additionally, the president addressed the topic of gun control, saying, "Congress should act to make sure no one on a no-fly list is able to buy a gun." Donald Trump found himself in the national hot seat after stirring controversy with recent comments respecting his stance on Muslim refugees.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. We have no choice. We have no choice.
The proposed ban on all Muslim citizens from entering the United States has garnered response from several fellow Republican candidates who have united in opposition. Carly Fiorina, Chris Christie, and Lindsey Graham have each vocalized their disagreement with Trump, while House Speaker Paul Ryan has said Trump's proposal is not what this country stands for. Democratic representatives have also jumped on board to refute Trump's proposal, with frontrunner Hillary Clinton saying, "This is both a shameless and a dangerous idea." Despite the extreme comments, Trump remains the top Republican candidate in the polls. The next Republican debate will take place Tuesday, December 15th in Las Vegas. Former APU student Abigail Hanna was arrested on Friday, November 20th for allegedly abducting a 2-year-old girl. According to a search warrant affidavit filed in Newburyport District Court, the child's parents reported their daughter missing early Friday morning and named Hanna as a suspect. They told police that Hanna babysat the child on one occasion. The toddler was found hours later on the side of the road. According to a press release from the district attorney's office, Abigail Hanna is being charged with kidnapping, breaking and entering, assault and battery on a child, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Hanna allegedly shaved the child's head in addition to burning it with a cigarette. The child was also found covered in bruises. Hanna is being held without bail at Worcester Recovery Center in Massachusetts and will undergo a competency evaluation until December 11th. Capture was able to confirm that Abigail Hanna was an English student at APU in the spring semester of 2013, prior to her leaving the university for undisclosed reasons. APU's facilities management team recently began installing drought-tolerant landscape along the corner of Citrus and Alasta. The project, which has been in the works since the university stopped watering in summer 2014, is estimated to cost the department $100,000. The department hopes to finish the project by the end of Christmas break. Overall, APU has reduced water usage by 17% since last year. The APU LA Term Study Abroad program has recently undergone some significant changes amidst a controversial end to the previous spring semester. The program is now run jointly between the Department of Global Studies and the Center for Global Learning and Engagement in an effort to strengthen the connection to the Azusa campus. Additional faith-based internship opportunities have also been made available. Associate Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Ryan Hartwig, expanded on these efforts.
When our students are away, it's a little bit more challenging to ensure that we've offered them a really robust support system, basically. And so we've been trying to think about, okay, how can we do that? And realizing that in LA, I mean, a huge part of the point of the program is to expose students to things that are different, and to situations that are challenging, and people who think differently than them, and so on. And we want to continue to do that. At the same time, that's hard. That's a major challenge. And so we want to make sure that students have the support that they need, whether that's through our faculty and our staff, whether that's through their church involvement while they're down there, whether that's through our community meetings, whether that's through their home stays, whether that's through their internship partners, that there's at least some of those places where they're able to get the kind of support and care that they oftentimes get here on this campus.
Turning to Cougar Athletics, men's and women's basketball hosted Pac-West Conference rival California Baptist on Saturday. Here's KAPU Sports Director Toph Buzzard with more.
What a game we had here tonight, folks, between the California Baptist Lancers and the Azusa Pacific Cougars. It was quite the contest. It couldn't have been scripted better. It was back and forth all night. The biggest lead for the Cougars at the beginning of the second half was a 10-point lead. That diminished quickly. A shot that did not fall, a rebounded missed shot didn't go as well for the Lancers. Right as time expired, it gave the Cougars a 73-72 victory here inside the Felix Event Center. The crowd showed up, and it was a phenomenal game here tonight, moving the Cougars to 6-2 overall on the season and 1-1 in Pac-West play.
The rival will meet again when the Cougars travel to Riverside on January 16th. Our neighboring school, Citrus College, has been awarded the 2015 Chancellor's Student Success Award. The award was presented to the school's Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Summer Research Experience program for its outstanding work. Citrus was one of the only 2 California community college programs to receive the award, honoring those which successfully support students as they achieve their higher education goals. And now, to finish our final show of the semester, we have a very special sit-down interview. APU's treasured president, Dr. John Wallace, faced the biggest health battle of his life. After the removal of a malignant tumor, the president began and is still undergoing radiation treatment. Assistant News Director Katie Ridgecreek spoke with Wallace about his recovery and what he is looking forward to most in the upcoming months and beyond.
President John Wallace's battle with cancer has forced him to take a limited role on campus this semester. Capture had the chance to sit down with the president as he prepares to return to doing what he loves the most.
Having gone through the last few months from the removal of the tumor to the chemotherapy, can you tell me how you're feeling in this moment?
Sure, yeah. So you go through all these things. It's a kind of a cut and burn approach, but really great doctors down at USC Norris Cancer Hospital. So I'm back 3 or 4 days a week, and today I feel grateful, Katie. Actually, that's the truth.
What has been the most profound thing you've learned through this process?
Yeah, right. So, I'm an outdoors guy and run and hike and ride my bike, and so to go through all of this and lose your ability, a lot of physical limitations when you're under chemo or recovering from major surgery. Honestly, I've learned to walk by faith, not by sight. And so that passage in Corinthians where Paul is talking about not putting our confidence in our mortality, but trusting God in our immortality. And then he finishes that by talking about walking by faith and not by sight. And actually some Bibles translate that living by faith, not by sight. So I'm walking each day by faith, and that's working.
Yeah, and now the main question, will you be returning in the spring, and what will that look like?
Right. So I'm actually, Katie, I'm thinking of doing your job in the spring. I think I could do interviews, and this would be really the capture thing. We could go to a whole new level. How do you feel about that? I mean, no, I'm kidding. So I think I mentioned earlier before we started filming that our daughter Kate, an APU alum, is getting married on January the 10th, Sunday the 10th. And so on Monday the 11th or Tuesday the 12th, that's kind of when I'm back full time. In the meantime, Dr. David Bixby has been the acting president, and the administration and leadership team's been doing great. So I'm here in the office most days, but I kind of stay out of their way so that they can do the important things. And I'm teaching a class on Tuesday evenings with Peggy Campbell, our board chair, and Dennis Bachman, a local pastor, a ethics class for seniors. And then, I just returned from a trip to South Africa to see our students there.
Right.
So I've been like putting my toe back in the water, but that probably the 11th or 12th of January, you will see my familiar shuffle around campus.
And now, what are you looking forward to the most upon your return? Is it chapel or is it other things?
It's walking across campus and seeing students.
On that Wallace Way?
Yeah, that'll be just fine.
And now, looking long term, what is your role going to look like 1 to 3 to 5 years from now?
Yeah. Well, so I told you, my big lesson was walking by faith, not by sight. I love what I get to do as president. But honestly, Katie, what happens now is that you get a 3-month scan. So every 3 months they go back and they do a CT scan. They put this amazing chemical in you that gives the radiologist the ability to look deep into your body. And so emotionally, you live in 3-month chunks, right? Spiritually, you're thankful for the next 5 minutes. So, I have always considered myself about, 22 years old. So I still think I'm 22. So whatever God has in the future, I love being at APU, and I love what I get to do with students, and I hope that doesn't change for a long time. But I live now with the reality of an uncertain cloud that can come back at any point. And so I will be thankful for the next 5 minutes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Katie. Myself and everyone here at Capture is looking forward to seeing President Wallace next semester. That is all we have for this edition of Capture. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you right back here in January.